Announced this week that Russia will begin using the Chinese yuan for international payments instead of the dollar. Saudi Arabia is also in talks with Beijing to do the same thing. Speaking of Saudi Arabia, meanwhile, they are in talks with Iran as well to consider an economic alliance with China and Russia. And they can even be joining the BRIC countries, which is an acronym for these countries here: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These countries all have emerging economies. So what happens if our economy and the U.S. dollar are no longer the world's dominant currency? Former Assistant Treasury Secretary and host of the Monica Crowley podcast, Monica Crowley, is here to weigh in. Monica, great to see you this morning. Let's start right there. What happens if these emerging economies move away from the U.S. dollar towards the Chinese yuan?
Fair use.
Well, good morning, Will. It's great to be with you. And it's really hard to overstate exactly how catastrophic the abandonment of the U.S. dollar would be as the world's global reserve currency. Look, since the end of World War II, the dollar has been the safe place to go, and it's been backed up by a couple of things. It originally was backed up by gold, but President Nixon took us off the gold standard, so there's no hard asset backing up the dollar anymore for the last 50 years. But also it's been backed up by the strength and economic power of the United States and the fact that oil has always been traded in dollars. If that were to end, that would mean the end of the U.S. dollar. Look, there's a perfect storm happening right now, Will. The world's reserve currency, being that, having that status has been a real privilege, but we've abused the privilege by wholly reckless monetary and fiscal policies over many years, certainly over the last couple of years, which has really devalued the dollar. On top of that, now you do have this perfect storm of Biden's weakness, his war on American domestic energy production, the Ukraine war, and as you point out, because of all of these things, we've got America's enemies led by China forming a new economic bloc. And all it would take at this point now, because we're at this pivotal moment, Will, is for Saudi Arabia, who has indicated that they're open to this, to say, you know what, we're going to be open to considering other currencies to trade in oil. If that were to happen, there would be a complete implosion of the global economic system, but certainly the American economic system. And if that were to happen, you'd be looking at sky-high inflation, just raging Weimar Republic kind of inflation. If you think inflation is bad now, just wait. But more importantly, we would lose our economic dominance and we would lose our superpower status.
Monica, the world's reserve currency, you said it's a privilege for the United States for the dollar to have been the world's currency. How does that relate to each individual American? How has that changed or impacted or improved our lives throughout the last several decades?
Yeah, I mean, it's given the United States incredible dominance in the world in terms of the economic system and in terms of trade. It's kept prices down. So whether it's energy prices, whether it's your food prices, the entire global economic system is reliant on the safe and secure dollar. But that is no longer true, again, because we've been printing money like crazy and devalued the power of the dollar and the value of the dollar. But on top of it now, again, oil is the critical linchpin of this. If Saudi Arabia decides to join with America's enemies here and start trading oil in different currencies, that is going to undermine the entire global economic system. And here at home, you know what it's going to mean for us? It's going to mean raging inflation, so much worse than anything we have ever experienced, Will. And I'll tell you, they're setting it up so that they can then come to the rescue by introducing central bank digital currencies. If they were to do that, and the United States already has a pilot program, that means the loss of your individual economic freedom, because the government will have total access and control of everything you buy and sell and the ability to turn it off like that.
Ominous warning. I hear you. Saudi Arabia is the tipping point. Oil trading in dollars is the tipping.
Fair use. All right. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makakudash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation of the Akim, pushing out the word and truth and sincerity of the hopeful light around the globe. All right. Just wanted to share that quick clip, about 4 minutes. Hopefully it don't get taken down. Fair use, using it for the sake of edification. Okay. Biblical edification. All right. So we see the moves, and as it is written in Joel 3:9, it says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up." So you see all these superpowers, all these nations, they got powers of their own, emerging economies, as they said, all right, are proclaiming war, because that's all that it's going to lead to. All right, that's what men do, the evil that men do, especially the sons of man, sons of the wicked. They're going to get into it with their nuclear weapons, their ICBMs, okay, ultimately for world power domination, which they're cutting out the great whore, which is also prophetic. All right, that's why the scriptures also make it symbolic of this, even when uses this analogy: beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. All right, farming tools, going down to the very destitute, even from these great world powers to your urban communities, your local cities, okay, your local governments. Everything is going to be distraught by this, and that's why we have the prophecies in Esdras that it talks about neighbor against neighbor, and the lack of bread. Aren't we seeing famine and supply chain issues? All right, aren't we seeing economic collapse? Okay, aren't we seeing the rumors of war? All right, the pestilence, all right, or the plagues of Egypt coming upon the great whore, all right. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. These weaker nations aren't weak no more, okay. They're saying they're strong and they're ready to wage war on Babylon if they need be. They're not scared of the military might that Babylon the Great has, and by Babylon the Great I mean so-called America, is the spearhead of this global power. Okay. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So is the Lord bringing that judgment, right? That valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh's judgment, the Almighty's great judgment. So the Most High wants them to come together and gather and engage in war, all right, for the purpose of his indignation. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, all right, the damn reaper. The damn reaper is going to be called to this, all right. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. All right, they're ripe for the picking of the judgment that's overdue. Okay, so these things must come to pass. Yeah, Israel, our people, our nation is going to be affected. Obviously, the Lord's coming to judge his people and the heathen round about. But these heathens is going to get it. And our people that are joined unto the heathen and can't return to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and his most Son, Yahweh Shai, all right, and that they want to be lost following other gods, they're going to get caught up with the judgment of these other gods and these other nations. All right. So this is imminent. Yeah, let's jump over in Revelation real quick. Revelation Let's start at 15. Revelation 17 and 15. 14. Yeah, this is all the war of Armageddon. So let's start here. Yeah, Revelation 17:15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples. All right, this is talking about the great judgment of the damn great whore, Babylon the Great. Sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. All right. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. All right. These other world powers that are going to come up against Babylon the Great, the way that we see the BRICS nations. All right. All the way down to NATO and the EU itself, their allies themselves going to turn on the great whore. All right. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, and until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. Whew. Let's read that again. For the Most High hath put in their hearts, all right, these damn heathens that he's going to put up against Babylon, to fulfill his will, all right, which is the indignation and wrath to bring judgment upon Babylon the Great and, its world power structure. Their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the women which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Right? So this is that woman on the beast that controls the world powers. All right? Controls all these nations through military might, economic power. Okay? They've had that stronghold. But now, with the Lord's prophecies coming to pass, the beast itself, these other heads, all right, these other world powers are going to come up against it and burn this whore. That's how we know ICBMs and these arrows from other parts of the earth are going to hit Babylon the Great, as it is written. This whore, aka America. All right. So what we're seeing is the economic collapse heading towards that. We're seeing the branding of the MOTB, okay, written of in Revelation. It says that no man might buy or sell, and says he that has that mark, we know is that V chip, that V hip, that C hip, Salakia, all right, that digital tag that they're trying to put. And that's why they have the Fed Now program ready to roll out this digital currency. All right. So watch as well as pray. Stay wise, stay vigil, because our adversary, the devil, is seeking whom he may devour. Right. So till next time, Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Shalom.